I say we get to back to the point. I'm speaking to Godlogic. I don't even know who you are, bro.
You don't have to know who I am. I'm listening.
Let me
That's Godlogic.
He came in swinging, confident, passionate, ready to prove the Qur'an is the ultimate source of religious truth. But then, Godlogic asked one question. Just one. And suddenly, we're quoting Surah 2, jumping to Hadith, time traveling 200 years after Muhammad, and somehow blaming Christians? Then he hits us with, I'm not talking to you. I don't even know who you are. Folks, this wasn't a debate. It was a slow motion crash you can't look away from. Let's dive in.
Yeah, well, Jesus is true and Islam is not false. Both of those aren't.
Well, yeah, well, they both can't be true. You can't say that Jesus is true and Islam be true at the same time because they're directly opposed.
They're definitely, probably in your opinion, but definitely not.
No, it's not my opinion. That's literally objective fact. If Jesus is true, then Islam is false. It's really simple.
Tell me why you think Islam is false then.
Okay. I believe Islam is false because it contradicts Jesus and the prophets. Jesus says that he came, according to the prophets, to give his life as a ransom for us, that he's the Son of God who came in the flesh and rose again on the third day. Islam denies and rejects all of that.
So all of the prophets that you believe in, so Noah, David, Abraham, all of the prophets that came before Jesus, what did they call to?
They called to belief in Yahweh, and they prepared the coming of the Messiah.
Okay, so where Islam is different in this sense, and I can see the title of your video saying that Islam rejects the prophets. All of the prophets in Islam came with one message, and that's starting from the first messenger, Noah, and all of the messages after him, and all of the prophets as well, as it shows in the Quran.
Noah was the first prophet?
The first messenger. So he was a Rasul, not a Nabi. He was the first messenger that came with a new criterion, new revelation, basically. And all of the messages, including the prophets, all called towards one message. And that message was the same throughout history. So they all called towards worshipping God alone. Okay.
How do you know that?
Jesus came with that. And then the last prophet.
How do you know that?
Hold on.
No, we know, brother.
Hold on. Like Jesus came with that.
It's not a monologue. It's not trading monologue. We're in it here for a discussion.
So you can go ahead.
All right. So my question is where do you get that from? Where do you get that Noah taught the belief and called to the belief in one God, or that Jesus did as well? Where do you get this from?
Well, if you knew anything, and I'm sure that you're well versed in the Quran, I've seen your videos, you can easily, and I can pull up multiple chapters that all of the prophets in many of the chapters called towards that they are a prophet from God and believe in God alone. The only religion, but you're not letting me answer.
I did. You just answered it. You just said the Quran.
Yeah, but I've not finished my answer though. So
what more do you have to say? You just said the Quran.
I wanted to add to that is that you said
there's nothing to add, bro. Just keep it simple and succinct.
You're being
AB, respectfully, AB, I'm gonna just let you know how this goes. When I ask a question, I'm not asking for a monologue. I'm asking for something very simple.
You're being a lot ruder than I remember. Like usually you're quite lighthearted, but for some reason,
I'm very lighthearted. And then when I'm getting with somebody who doesn't know how to answer a straightforward question, they're trying to take the opportunity to filibuster. That's where I got to cut in and redirect you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. You got to stop. You got to stop trying to over explain or over tell stuff. Just keep the answers simple. If there's a desire for things or it's necessary for things to be expanded on, I allow that. No problem. But with the questions that I'm asking do not require a monologue. They don't.
Okay, boss. All Go ahead.
I appreciate it.
So you going back to your question then, why does Islam reject the Prophet?
You said the Quran. So I didn't ask you about what the Quran says. I asked you about what the prophets say. How do you know that, like, for example, if you wanted to go and see what Moses taught, where would you go?
The Quran.
Did Moses teach the Quran?
No, all of the truth that we know about religion is from the Quran. Any of the previous revelation is not for us. as in there can be fault found in them. We go to the Quran for anything in relation to religion.
Okay. Who is the Torah given to?
Moses.
Where does your Quran say that?
What do you mean? As in, where does the Quran say that Moses was given the Torah?
Yes.
I can bring that up for you if you want.
Sure. Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Are you saying that the Quran doesn't teach that Moses was given the Torah? Is that what you're trying to say? Or are you just...
I haven't said anything.
No, because I just think it's a pointless exercise. We all know...
Oh, no, you're going to see the point of this exercise real soon, brother.
No, we all know that Moses was given the Torah.
Okay, show me that from the Quran. Because you said all truth about the religions come from the Quran. So I want to see this from the Quran.
Yeah, no problem. 1 second.
Now, remember what you said. You said I'm quite knowledgeable, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Quran, right?
Get the verse.
Well, and it says, and recall when we gave Moses the scripture, that perhaps that you might be guided.
All right. So what scripture was that?
The Torah.
Where does it say that?
Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Next question. I think you're just being kind of facetious right now.
Where does it say that the Torah was given to Moses? It says the scripture. Does it identify what scripture was given to Moses in that verse?
Not that specific verse, but we all know that Moses was given the Torah. Come on.
How?
Next question.
Wait. When you say that we all know, when you say we all know that Moses was given the Torah, where do you get that from? Because earlier you told me that all of your religious truth comes from the Quran. So where the Quran does it tell you this religious truth?
Not only the Quran. Let me add to that. Let me correct that. Not only the Quran and the Hadith as well. But if you're trying to, not only the Quran but the Hadith as well, and that's where you get our religion from.
I got it. So the Hadith. So it wasn't until the Hadith, which come 800 years after. I'm sorry, not 800 years, but 200 years after Muhammad. It's not until the Hadith that you find out that Moses was specifically given the Torah. No one knew this before.
Wait, hold on. What did you say? That the Hadith was written 200 years after the Prophet?
Yeah, the Hadith come 200 years after.
No. So the Hadith is everything that the Prophet said and did.
Yeah,
and
but
the narrators were there with the Prophet
200 years later.
So no, if you're talking about the compilation of the Hadith and the separating them between authentic or unauthentic, that might have happened afterwards.
Can you give me a Hadith that goes back to Muhammad? Physically?
What do you mean? All of the hadiths go back to Muhammad. I think
can you give me a manuscript? Can you give me a manuscript of a hadith that goes all the way back to Muhammad?
We don't only work on manuscripts. The hadiths were a oral tradition, right? They were memorized.
Okay? Y'all be all over the place, dude.
Nah, man.
He's talking about manuscripts. Stay on manuscripts, bro. When no one's talking about oral.
Give us the first manuscript that you got on the Bible. How many years after that was from when Jesus came?
Can you not defend your claim against your Hadith manuscripts?
I say we get to that, back to the point. I'm speaking to Godlogic. I don't even know who you are, bro.
You don't have to know who I am. I'm listening to you.
That's Godlogic.
You don't have to know who I am. I'm listening to you and you sound foolish, man. Can you defend your Hadith manuscript claim or no?
No problem. Let's get back. Why do you think that Islam rejects the prophets?
So can you answer it or not?
Answer what?
Hey, man, take care of yourself, dude.
Watch your head, dog. Watch your head. Yeah, our manuscripts do go back to Muhammad. Okay, what manuscripts? We go off oral tradition.
Well, it's oral tradition now.
Embarrassing, bro. Then they all over the place. Can you defend? Okay, can you defend the Quranic? Oh, let's go back to the topic. Let's just go back to the topic.
And there you have it. When your foundation isn't solid, even the simplest questions can shake the whole structure. Truth doesn't dodge, it stands firm. If your source can't explain itself without jumping timelines and pointing fingers, maybe it's time to question the source. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more bold conversations.